Mexico. Then the truck in a drunk driving accident. So I stayed at the school over summer break, reading books and walking around the forests. There was only one phone on campus, and you had to pay $1 per minute to use it. So my mom would write me letters instead, telling me about how Kansas looked in the summer, and how my old friends from middle school were starting to look like adults and work at the Dairy Queen, and how my dad loved me, even if he couldn't come get me again this summer. At the end of every letter, she would write, "There are more than 1 million people in Kansas, but no one is our Emma. You are our most special girl." She still writes me letters, but they're not as long anymore, and they don't come as often. She hardly ever mentions my dad. She's given up trying to understand my life here, so she doesn't ask. In the last one, 2 months ago, she told me she didn't think about me first thing in the morning anymore, and that she thought it was nice to be moving forward. But still, at the end of the letter, no one is their Emma. I am still their most special girl. I used to love when she said that, but I don't think I want to be special anymore. The most beautiful flowers are the ones that get picked, but what good is a dead flower? I don't remember what it was like to be 14 and in love with the possibility of this place. I don't feel worthy or important. I don't write poetry anymore. I've been here 4 years, and I don't think I'm blessed. In fact, I'm afraid I might be cursed. Part 1. Evening Mass. Evan. The overhead light flickered as he waited for her to enter the dormitory hallway. His door was wide open, and he stood just inside the lip of it, angled toward the hall. It was day 40, which meant he'd lived across the hall from her for 40 days. And this was the first day he'd left his door all the way open. He'd covered his walls with basketball posters and lit a candle that smelled like pine trees. His hair was long enough now that it was starting to turn upward at the bottom, like the boy she said she liked from Third Rock from the Sun. Joseph Garden, whoever he was. He'd even found one of his signature button-ups in the Lost and Found. It was delicate being in the right spot at the right time. It usually involved several minutes of standing in the right spot, waiting for the right time, and sometimes being placed in the right dorm and waiting 40 days. Today, he held a Goosebumps book to his face, pretending to read and staring over the top at the hinge across the hall, where at any moment her door would open and Emma would come gliding out. He checked his watch. 20 minutes to Mass. A few students passed, but none of them noticed him standing at attention behind the book. It was easy to blend in at Redemption. The fact that everyone came from different parts of the world meant students were always doing unexpected things. One of the lessons you learned in week 1 was to always look the other way. And before too long, you didn't have to try. It was better that way. 40 days on this floor, and only 2 or 3 other students knew his name. Across the hallway, the hinge creaked open, and Emma rushed out the door with her head down. She turned left. Evan leapt forward, brushing past her in the opposite direction. His right hand dropped, and the book slipped from between his fingers, but he kept moving down the hall away from her. He counted off 10 seconds before chancing a look back. The Goosebumps book hung in her doorframe, blocking the latch. Emma walked alone to church every Thursday night. 20 minutes early, down the Human Sciences dorm hallway to the stairwell in the lounge. A stop at the water fountain on the way. The third pew in chapel. Hands crossed the whole time. A solo prayer at the outdoor cross afterward. A walk back with Neeshas. A painted smile every time some plebe tried